Hello everybody, my name is Jakub Absolon and I'm managing middle-sized translation company. Let's say about 20 years. We are based in Central Europe. Today I would like to discuss the impact of AI on translation industry. The translation industry is evolving rapidly, driven by technological advancements such as machine translation and sophisticated translation memory systems. While these tools have increased efficiency, they have also introduced new challenges that threaten the value, quality, and sustainability of professional translators. During the recent Mid-Central Europe conference in Prague, a speaker asked the audience if anyone knew translator who is quitting the profession. Almost every hand went up. This presentation outlined 3 critical steps to secure the future of the translation profession. By these, we can adapt to changing market demands while preserving the integrity and expertise of human translators. These measures aim to ensure fair compensation, maintain high-quality standards, and protect the profession's status in a tech-driven landscape. First step, revising the human translation payment model. There are hypotheses. Currently, translation memories are so big and machine translation engines are so good that there are no translation units without possible fuzzy matches derived either from translation memory or machine translation. Current pricing for fuzzy matches does not accurately reflect the workload or time required for translation or editing. This had been demonstrated by research conducted in a bachelor's thesis, which studied the possible direct correlation between the level of fuzzy matches and the time needed for their editing. The proportion of fuzzy matches to new words is rising. First, with introduction of cross-file repetition in 2009, but mainly the expansion of cloud-based translation memories and of course advancement of machine translation engines. If the above hypothesis holds, a fixed payment for total source word count model should be adopted because the translators had to read all sentences, whether generated by MT or TM. Increased productivity should be reflected in the reduction of the price per word compared to the price per so-called new words, while increasing the rate for machine translation post-editing, as a translation with MT assistance is faster, but human still has its limit. Additionally, the full post-editing service should be phased out as a standard product. We will talk about it later. I'm not against the evolution and use of machine translation and other tools. In fact, I have always been an early adopter of new technology. However, the current situation is entirely different from the period during the dissemination of translation memory technology. In my book, Don't Be Afraid of Stratos, published in 2010, I presented a graph based on research from 2009. It compared the productivity of CAT tool users, with translators who did not use CAT tools. Blue are CAT users and red are translators don't using CAT tools. The data showed that due to increased productivity, CAT users earned higher income despite lower rates per word and offering discounts for repetition, 100% matches and fuzzy matches. Now, due to incorrect pricing models, our translators earn less money. When we adopted machine translation a couple years ago, we expected a win-win strategy as it used to be in TM era. Second step, legal requirements for machine translation disclaimer, at least in EU countries. Hypothesis, Companies, institutions, and media outlets are increasingly relying on machine translation. Errors in empty translation presents potential risk to consumers, clients, and citizens in general. Permitting empty use without disclaimers encourage faster, more economical translation approaches that may overlook quality and risk. Our solution mandate the inclusion of a disclaimer for all empty generated text to inform end user of potential inaccuracies. Restrict the use of machine translation for high-risk consumer raw machine translation or light post-editing machine translation for high-risk consumer content such as legal, medical, and technical documentation to ensure accuracy and minimize consumer risk. Step number 3. Discontinuing full post-editing as a standard product. Hypothesis: human translators are not necessarily superior to MT in all cases. Sometimes it's happened that machine translation is even better than the human solution. And full post-editing quality is often cited as a product comparable to a product obtained by human translation, as in ISO 18587. Since the quality of human translation and full post-editing is comparable, we can say almost the same or the same, it's the question, there is ambiguity in the value of offering both services as a distinct options. Clients order full post-editing because they get the quality of human translation for a lower price. Clients only exceptionally request so-called light post-editing. Proposed solution: clarify the distinction between human translation and machine translation or MT-based translation processes. All translations with a final human edit should be expressly considered human translation, with the HD label indicating the translator's full accountability for the final text. So no full post-editing, because it's human translation, because almost every translator is using machine translation as a resource. These 3 simple steps could help to stabilize and strengthen the translation profession by addressing challenges associated with evolving technology and market demands. Here is how each step contributes to this goal. Shifting to a total word count model that adjusts rates for machine translation post-editing could better reflect the actual work translators do, especially with the rising use of machine translation and leverage by translation memory. Fuzzy match discount often undervalue the translator's expertise, while full post-editing do not adequately compensate for the editing required. By fairly compensating for machine translation post-editing work and phasing out full post-editing as a standard service, translators could focus on quality translation without feeling underpaid or pressured to meet so-called comparable to human translation standard for lower compensation. With mandatory disclaimers for machine MT-generated content, consumers, companies, and citizens would be more informed about the potential inaccuracies, encouraging business to prioritize professional human translation for high-stake content. This move would elevate the role of human translators for critical work, reinforcing the value of their expertise and ensuring that quality remains a priority. This step would clarify the boundaries between machine translation and human translation services, strengthening the integrity of human translation label. By standardizing that any MT-based text with final human editing falls under human translation, the profession could more clearly communicate quality standards. Translators would be recognized as accountable for the final text, thereby boosting confidence in their work and minimizing confusion for clients on the value of human input versus automated output. Together, these steps could redefine professional standards, provide fair compensation, and protect the reputation of human translation, helping to secure the future of the translation profession amidst technological advancement. On the contrary, if these steps are not adopted, the translation profession may face several significant challenges that could erode its stability and value on the market. Here are some potential consequences. First, underpayment and devaluation of human translation. Without revising the payment model to account for the actual workload associated with translation memory and machine translation post-editing, translators may continue to experience underpayment. Fuzzy match discount, both MT and TM, and low rates for MTPE can discourage skilled translators, leading to a devaluation of the profession and a decline in quality, as experienced professionals may seek other career paths due to unsustainable payment. Increased risk and liability due to an unregulated machine translation use. Allowing companies and institutions to use MT without disclaimers or limitations could lead to misinformation, misinterpretation, and even harmful outcomes, especially in sensitive sectors like medical, legal, and technical fields. Consumers and clients may suffer from inaccuracies, which could result in legal liabilities, reputational damage, and, in severe cases, endangerment of users' health. The lack of disclaimers may also cause users to place excessive trust in machine translation, unaware of its limitations, thereby increasing the likelihood of error. Then, number 3, confusion over quality standards and erosion of trust. If full post-editing remains a standard product, the lines between human translation and machine translation will remain blurred. This could confuse clients about what they are paying for and lead them to assume that MT-based outputs are equivalent to human translation quality despite lacking the same linguistic and cultural expertise. In the long run, this ambiguity could erode trust in translation services, damaging the overall reputation and integrity of the profession. Number 4, widening skills gap and loss of translators' expertise. As machine translation becomes increasingly relied upon for cost-saving measures without proper quality distinctions, the demand for skilled human translators may diminish. This could result in a skills gap, where fewer new translators are entering the profession or receiving training in complex linguistic, culture, and domain-specific nuances. Over time, this loss of expertise may make it harder to meet the demand for high-quality translation in complex or specialized fields. Number 5. Market shift toward low-cost, low-quality translation solutions. Without clear distinction and value for human translation, companies might gravitate towards the cheapest solution, often choosing machine translation without considering the quality impact. This could result in a market where high-quality human translation is undervalued and rarely sought after, leading to a downward spiral in pricing and quality. Skilled translators could be forced out of the profession due to low demand and unsustainable rates, resulting in a market dominated by low-cost automated or semi-automated solutions, lacking in quality and reliability. And the last, decline of the translation profession status. If these issues continue unchecked, the translation profession could lose its status as skilled and reputable field, seen more as a secondary step in content creation rather than a core component. This decline in status could have long-term impact on the industry, making it less attractive to new talents, discouraging educational institutions from offering specialized translation programs, and further diminishing the quality and respect associated with professional translation work. To sum up, not adopting these steps could lead to a reduction in quality, reducing of quality, the valuation of translators' expertise, and increased risk in relying solely on machine translation, ultimately threatening the future sustainability of the translation profession. So thank you for your attention, and I'm looking forward to your questions and comments.